Hello and welcome to the Death Battle Cast, the show where we're gonna argue with each other for an entire hour, and you're gonna like it. Damn it! Hey, I'm Ben. I'm the voice of Wiz in Death Battle. I am joined by a few amazing people. We've got Liam, writer and director for Death Battle.
Oh
What's up,
my
Liam?
God. Oh my God.
Yes, you are live.
Oh my
Liam.
God. Oh my
You are here.
God.
Okay. Anyway, we are also joined by Sam, producer for the show.
That's me. Hi.
It's Sam. Hey, Sam. What's up, man?
Not much.
And last but not least, we are joined by, you know her as a moderator for the live chat that you are in. If you are watching this live, we do this every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central. You also know her from the Death Battle Discord. It's Nubia.
Yo.
Hello. Hi.
Oh my gosh. It's great to have you here, Nubia.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
So I kind of did that brief introduction, but for anybody who doesn't know who you are or just a passing, knowing, tell people about you. Who are you? What do you do?
I'm Nubia. I am a contractor for Rooster Teeth for moderating, basically. So I'm like a professional paid mod. I mod mostly for Death Battle as well as the videos on the RT site. And then any other live stream that happens, I'll be there moderating and making sure that everybody's behaving.
You do
So,
a very good job of that. And also,
Yes.
I do think the chat would like to know what the cat's name is. I think that's of the utmost
Is
importance.
there a
He
cat?
moved. Okay. Yeah. He's,
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
There's a
It's
cat back
right
there, little stealthy,
here.
but yeah.
His name is Alonzo. We usually call him Zoe, Kitty, or like Stinky Bastard Boy sometimes if he's being bad. That's
All right.
Love it. Well, Zoe, get up here. You need to be in the show as well. Come on.
Get in the
This
shot.
is part of the deal.
Another
he's not gonna move.
another quick bookkeeping note from me. If you notice in the chat, there's a lot of gold badges because we just hit 12 months on our membership, and these are the homies that started from day one. So thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Holy crap. That is right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We're
This is
finally getting some gold badges.
This is the first week with gold badges. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. There's one more badge left, guys. So just stick with it. You get to the
final badge.
the super secret final badge.
Yeah.
Pretty sure if you just look at the membership stuff, it like shows
You
it.
do. I think so. Yeah.
But oh, that's amazing. Really cool to see the gold badges in the chat. That's awesome. So now we got all sorts of colors. We got the black, we got the silver, we got the bronze, we got the gold, we got the red. Love it. Thank you to everybody for being members, especially during this time, like between seasons. We know that the main show isn't airing right now, so it's very humbling to see all of you still supporting us, even while we're not like releasing Death Battle episodes. Trust me, they're coming, and we're very excited for this upcoming season. But thank you so much for your support. But speaking of matchups, we have a very fun matchup suggested by Nubia herself, but also by a lot of you all. This is a matchup that I have seen requested for quite a long time, and we almost did it last year.
Yeah.
It ended up being chosen, or Asta ended up being chosen as Deku's opponent,
Yes.
but the sort of runner-up, I guess you could say, it was one of the matchups that was up for debate for us was Deku, our boy from My Hero Academia, versus Gon from Hunter x Hunter.
Gon
The
is
boys in green.
He's definitely the one that has been requested way like the most for Deku. Like that's a classic matchup. So
Yeah.
It's small boys, good smash. Like they
green
strong smash.
punch.
Yeah.
The boys in green who punch hard.
Yeah.
They're also small.
Which is sort of why it's funny when people are like, Asta and Deku don't have any connections. Let's do Gon versus Deku. Green punch. Green punch boy.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a death battle for any reasons, frankly.
Absolutely.
I years ago I made this like silly chart for when I think we were doing Shadow versus Mewtwo. I think
Yes,
that's what it was.
I remember you made that.
I made this silly chart about like why we're not doing Mewtwo versus Frieza or whatever the hell it was. It was like this like chart of comparisons of like Shadow compared to Frieza compared to Mewtwo versus whatever. And it was just meant as a joke, but I do feel like some people took it maybe a bit too literally as like, this is how we determine our matchups.
Yeah.
And I do see some people saying like, this is not, they're choosing this matchup because of these connections, but that's wrong. They should be doing it because of these connections. And frankly, I think you can have a matchup for any reason, right? Just so long as it like seems appropriate for whatever reason.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
We were
good vibes.
aware of Homelander versus Omni-Man being a horrific stomp, but I was like, I pushed for it because I really
thematically juicy. So
it's thematically juicy,
Yes.
and I knew that
Yeah.
I could tell a fun story with it. You know,
Mhm.
that's what mattered
Sure.
to me.
I think the very popular reception to that one kind of justifies
Vindicated.
that.
That was I made my sister watch Death Battle for the first time, and that was the first one I forced her to watch because she liked both of those shows.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, look how good it is. Join me.
It's such a great introductory one.
When
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Nubia, just out of curiosity, when did you get introduced to Death Battle?
Oh gosh. So I think it was I'm a very new Death Battle fan. Like I want to
Yeah.
say maybe Pandemic. When the pandemic first started.
That's not that
But,
new these days. That's a while.
It's actually been way longer
You've
than
been
it
around
feels.
a minute.
I don't remember my first Death Battle episode, but I do remember my first Death Battle cast that I watched live. And it was I think it was Zuko versus Todoroki. Was the one that you guys debated. And I was just like, oh, this is really cool. I actually want to go through and just binge watch the show from the beginning. So I just went on the RT site and I sorted by oldest and I just started watching everything Death Battle put out. And I'm redoing that right now too. So I'm just like, I need a refresh.
Oh wow.
But yeah,
For other
that
new
was
people,
about how long ago.
I would suggest you sort by oldest and then skip maybe 10. And then you can start right there.
I would say skip maybe 50.
25.
Start at episode 50. It's when we
There's
really
definitely
find our footing.
No, Sage versus Sam is pre-50, so you can't do that.
That's
You
true.
can't
That's
skip
true.
50.
No, I kid. There's a lot of, I think, episodes from the first two seasons that hold up pretty well. But we're actually doing a series for members. Chad and I are kind of revisiting a lot of the old episodes, and we just recently recorded Wily versus Eggman. Episode 18, I think it was 17, something like that. And it was way better than I remembered it being. Like it was really fun. So yeah, if you're a member watching this and you haven't checked out our Death Battle Revisited series, go check that out. Because we're spilling all sorts of secrets and information about each episode while we're recording those. Yeah, and then there's stuff like Master Chief versus Doom Guy, which is just kind of boring. It could be done way better nowadays, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Would be better
There's a lot of hits or misses. Hits and misses are pretty much the theme of season 1. And then season 2, we kind of start to find our footing. And then I think season 3 is when we really started nailing it. But one of the things that I really like about how we've been working on Death Battle is we try to improve every year. And I think we've succeeded for the most part. I don't know. I guess I can't really answer that myself. That's up to you guys watching. But we should get to this matchup because obviously, if everybody wants to see it, it must be really close, right, Liam?
No, actually, the one of the reasons that we went into or we decided against Deku versus Gon was because of how unfair it is, and I believe I one of us may have said that or something. It's just a very uneven fight, and it really would just be it would be a stomp match against Deku. So we wanted to pick one that was pretty close to
Against
Deku.
Deku.
Yeah. Asta is only
Interesting.
about 6 times stronger than Deku, which is a lot of people are like, that's a huge stomp. It really isn't that big of a stomp. I mean, that's not. I wouldn't even say that's a stomp. They're within range of each other. I think it starts at like 10 times, where I think it becomes sort of like you can't damage your opponent. So yeah, we wanted
What
to
are
be
you
fair
saying?
to Deku.
It's just some arbitrary shit. Just throw it out here.
Sorry. The calcs in Asta versus Deku for power. Asta came out about 6 times stronger, which is not seems like a big gap. It really isn't, especially compared to what it is for how much stronger Gon is from Deku.
Oh wow. Okay. See, I was going to say the opposite. That this is like a clear win for Deku. But how about we get? How about we get to?
How about you explain that for us?
Yeah,
Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah. So As always, the way this works is two of us are going to be arguing for these characters, and the rest of the crew here and you all are going to vote for the winner. So I will be representing Deku, if that wasn't obvious. Liam will be representing Gon, and Sam and Nubia will be our two judges, as well as you all watching live. At the end of the show, you will get to vote on who you think should win based on whatever information we have presented to you and whatever information you already know. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'll go ahead and kick this off for Deku. 60 seconds on the clock. Uninterrupted. Liam, thank you very much. All right, Deku. Izuku Midoriya is one of the, if not the greatest hero in the world of My Hero Academia. He is incredibly powerful using the quirk or superpower of One for All. Now, One for All is both a very easy to understand and very complicated power. But generally speaking, he punch hard. Things die fast, including his bones. But he has over time been able to compensate for that and use other powers to be able to use the full maximum power of All for One, One for All, One for All, in order to reach the same level, if not higher, as All Might, who was previously considered to be the greatest hero of all time. He is far more powerful and far faster than Gon has any chance of matching, and there's just no way. There's no way he's not going to win this. I was not expecting an actual applause.
Impressive. Yeah, cool.
All right, Liam, 60 seconds. Go for it.
Ben is so full of shit, his eyes are brown. Gon might seem weaker when you start off in the series, but he gets so much stronger over time, and especially when he activates his sort of anti-Super Saiyan adult Gon transformation, where he gets the collective, all nen he has ever had, that he'll ever have across his entire life, is concentrated into his body at that time. He becomes comparable to the top tiers in Hunter x Hunter. Characters explicitly compared to Meruem. And let me tell you, the top tiers in Hunter x Hunter are fucking insane. A lot of feats no one talks about. Mike, just to start you guys off, Mike, could you bring up image 3, please? Just to give you a fucking taste. A fucking taste of how powerful these characters are. Yeah, that's the Earth right there, motherfuckers. On.
That's not Gon though. That's just some other person.
One, that's not Gon. Two, I'm pretty sure that's not an actual literal example of him holding the earth in his hands.
It very much is. It very much
pretty
is.
sure that's from a scene where he's like, I will control the earth, and then we have this dream or whatever of him figuratively holding the earth.
Here Ben is bringing up the "it's not real" argument, which he always does when he's backed into a fucking corner. I bring up fucking obvious evidence just right on the page, and he just starts with the defensive shit. Okay, this is. ridiculous.
If it's not real, why would they put it?
Exactly. Thank you, Nubia.
I feel like I
love that shirt, by the way.
I can tell when, I think we know which way you might be voting. But I think we can tell when Liam doesn't actually believe his argument. He's in deep for it.
Character assassination. Complete character assassination. Sure. This is ridiculous. This is a toxic working environment.
I was all ready for a back and forth with you where we kind of go up to the higher levels of these characters.
Yeah.
And then near the end, we make it very clear that Deku obviously is way more powerful. But if you're starting off with just utter lies and just showcasing something that's not actually real,
what? Talk about speed.
Oh, we're just going to move on. You're not actually going to refute what we're talking about here.
I wanted to build up. in terms of impressiveness. But
okay, let's see what other fake image you have for speed.
Yeah. Do it, please. Present your speed argument, because mine's higher.
Oh, my speed argument.
Yeah, your speed argument. Yeah, I wrote that script, by the way, so I know what argument you're going to use.
Well, sure. I was actually about to say this.
Deku versus
I literally right before this double checked the script for our Deku Asta episode
Yep.
that you yourself
I wrote.
wrote. So you know that Deku is capable of scaling to Shigaraki, who can catch light speed lasers. So there is a light speed element to My Hero Academia. A lot of people might disagree with that, but that is like a high end sort of ranking for top tier My Hero characters, like Deku should be. And also, Deku has a lot of extra powers that increase that speed beyond that. But I'll save that because I'm wondering what you're about to bring up.
Yeah, but you are. I bet you are. Yeah. I just want to point out here that we were being generous, and we talked about this in the rehearsal call, in the research call. That catching a laser is relativistic, right? Because he has time to react to the laser coming to him. It's not exactly light speed, but we said light speed just because it didn't end up mattering. Mike, I'd like you to bring up. Oh, here it is. Image 544. This is Killua. This is Killua right here. It's really blurry on mine. Who explicitly is stated to have light speed reflexes. And this is a Killua comparable to Gon before Gon even goes adult Gon and becomes so much fucking faster and more powerful than Killua that they're not even remotely comparable. Light speed reflexes. If you think that that's a stretch, let's go back to Meruem, who Gon is compared to explicitly by Pito.
When is Killua said to have light speed reflexes?
Right.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Bottom half of the page, top, right center of the page, right below the center. That's what that says.
Oh, where it says because it's all
it's
blurry.
A little hard for us to see.
Can see it.
If the audience can see it, you need light speed reflexes to catch it, is what it says. And the audience can say if I'm lying, but I'm not.
Who's saying that he needs light speed
reflexes? The
reflexes?
person that Killua just defeated. He said, in order to evade my attack, you'd need light speed reflexes.
So and who is it? Who is this person?
It's a Chimera ant.
So some random ant, some random bug thinks he understands the concept of light speed.
We can talk about the Chimera ants. Nubia, are Chimera ants just random bugs? Is that true, Nubia? Are they just random
they
little...
are not.
No, they are not. They are the deadliest species on the planet, a threat to the entire planet. We'll get to that later. Mike, could you bring up image 1?
Velvet Key in the chat says that sounds hyperbolic. I think it does.
Bring up image 1, please. Where it's stated that Meruem's N, just the basic emitting of his Nen, not even like an attack, just like him flexing, lit up the entire palace at the speed of a flash of light.
Well, it
light.
Sounds like if it lit it up, it's fucking light. So no shit.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so
I'm sorry. What? Your feat is this guy shined light in this palace and lit it up at the speed of light. No fucking shit.
Guys, I'm Liam. Light bulb speed Gon.
That's his whoever. That's like saying Goku's Kamehameha fires at the speed of light. It's his Nen, it's his aura that he's expanding out, that stretches out like that. He doesn't have a power where he could just turn on light. It's representative of his aura and his attacks in general.
Okay, so it's not him emitting light, it is him emitting his Nen.
His Nen, exactly. That's what Nen is.
If anybody watching doesn't know, Nen is sort of like
it's ki.
The ki or the energy of Hunter x Hunter. It's a lot more complicated than something like ki in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
A lot more complicated. but
they just specify it. I mean, like, ki is used in a lot of the same ways. They just don't. Toriyama never goes into detail explaining, like, giving it names. Like, when you use ki like this, it's this. But they're used in a lot of the same ways. It's just like if you could use ki.
Gon just has some very specific ways to use Nen.
Yes.
And he's not as proficient or
there's different categories of
incapable of using it in other ways. I don't remember.
Like you can use ki to like clone yourself, like Piccolo and Krillin do against Nappa, which is just never explained, but that would be like a Nen attack, or a Hatsu, I guess.
There are characters in Hunter x Hunter that would have similar kinds of abilities. But again, like each character in Hunter x Hunter has like a specific type of Nen that they focus on, right?
Yeah.
And they can kind of move out of it into other Nens, but that are like adjacent or whatever, but they can't go past that, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's not like he can do anything that Nen can let him do.
They can do anything. It's just it's less effective. Hisoka fights this character whose name Castor, I think. He fights a guy who develops a Nen technique specifically to beat Hisoka, but it wasn't a technique that complemented him or complemented his natural type, so Hisoka was able to defeat it.
Oh, yeah,
Remember
in the tower.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it was a naturally weaker, unsuited ability for him.
That's right. Okay. Man,
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter is so cool. I need to
I
finish
love
it.
Hunter
I
x
got
Hunter.
like
love
partway
it so
through
much.
that Chimera Ant arc, and then I just never, for some reason, I never came back to it.
I'll tell you the reason. It's because it's massive. It's a fucking. It's a
Yeah,
fucking.
I guess
novel.
that's probably it.
It's
Yeah, that
gigantic.
makes sense.
And it's very
like
slowly
half the length.
paced. Yeah.
Everything else in Hunter x Hunter moves pretty quickly. Even the island arc moves pretty
Yeah.
quickly compared to Chimera Ant.
I love it. I love his specific brand of storytelling, but it's not for everybody. Some people could be really.
Yu Yu
turned
Hakusho
off
is
by
like my favorite
Yeah.
shonen ever. It's just
Yeah.
like it's almost like more of that. But I'm not here to compliment Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Liam, I'm here to talk shit about it and compliment what am I
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
My
Hero Academia.
Macadamia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia, the most popular anime of all times.
Oh,
minus a couple
God,
others.
Please don't say. Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
I want
My
that to
Hero's
ever be
pretty
true.
good. Okay, like I
It's
know it gets a bad
popular.
rep sometimes, but it's pretty good. I like it a lot.
Glad.
I had a hard
like
time getting into Naruto, and I feel like My Hero Academia
Me
is
too.
more digestible Naruto for me.
My taste on shonen is so warped because I really have gotten to the point where I can't stand the standard shonens. So the part of Naruto that I like the most is the war arc. Like the Chunin exam, I'm like, whatever. I've seen this
which
before.
they have in My Hero Academia.
The war arc is so fucking funny because nothing makes any sense. It's like every chapter is like introduces an entirely new layer of plot. Madara is so fucking funny, and he's just like, like I love the war arc so much. It's so fun. Which is
Falco
very
versus Leon in the chat. That's says funny. You mentioned that Ben. Both shows are made by the same manga. That's exactly why I mentioned it. Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter are made by the same person.
I thought he meant My Hero and Naruto.
Not Naruto and My Hero. That's not. No.
Wow, Kishimoto's got it in him.
Surprise.
Yeah.
I am kind of on the same vibe of like I just can't handle shonen anime anymore.
Yeah.
Or like
It
it's
just
not
doesn't-
even anime. You can give me a
Doesn't
shonen
appeal to
live
me
action
anymore.
show
I've aged out of
that
it.
the archetype of it is just I can't
Yeah.
deal with it anymore. I've seen enough of it.
I like Chainsaw Man, where the main character's motivation is to get laid. Because I'm like,
Fair.
yeah. Fair. I
Mood.
get it.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's got.
before. We get it.
I feel like everybody's got that like one
Very
shonen that they really
understandable.
latch onto, and then everything else just not everything else, but there are a lot of very similar types. Like I'm talking
I
about
love
standard
Dragon
shonens.
Ball, and I still love
Dragon Ball,
manga Dragon Ball.
Yu Yu Hakusho to a certain extent, Naruto, My Hero. A lot of them have a lot of the same tropes. So like whichever one you latch onto, that's like the one for you, right? And then everything else kind of feels
Totally.
a little repetitive in comparison. Just
That's
the
Absolutely.
so
nature of
funny because Hunter x Hunter is mine.
Yeah.
So
Hunter x Hunter is like, it's like a specific kind of like not with the. There are some shonen that are like not, they don't match up cleanly with the other like eras of shonen, right? So like Hunter x Hunter and JoJo are both technically shonens, but they don't 100% feel like it. They have like some aspects of it and
Different
some that
vibes.
aren't. Different
Yeah.
vibes, yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho I think is the same way. Like, it's going for something a little different, which I appreciate.
Real quick on the Hunter x Hunter thing. If we got to
Berserker's
pick,
never a shonen.
are we going manga or anime?
I
or
actually
OG anime. There's the older anime.
Oh.
That's I've never watched. I have
I'm
no
gonna
idea what that's like. I've seen
very
some of the art for it. It
controversial.
looks very different, but I'm sure it's fine. But they got to the end of the manga where it was currently, and then they had to stop. And then
and they didn't
Hunter
do
x
the
Hunter.
Full Metal Alchemist
God,
thing.
looking into the mangaka for Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, that poor guy has gone through so much like health
Yeah.
bullshit trying to
Yeah.
make these manga.
He can't.
Look into it. It's nuts.
His back
But there's
is destroyed. It's just completely destroyed.
it's crazy. Anyway, hey, we're supposed to be arguing about
So-
a matchup.
Oh yeah,
Anime. I would say the anime actually, surprisingly. I like
Okay.
the anime more.
the like 2011 one.
It's
That
the
one?
only time. It's like the only time I'll pick the anime over the manga adaptation. I know.
The
I
anime's
do
really
like
good.
the anime.
It's really good. It's really
It's,
good.
It's beautiful. It's like
It's
looks
the
great.
Fight Club
Yeah.
of manga.
Okay, so what were we talking about? Oh, right. You were saying that like
yeah, light speed, literal statements.
They're light speed or
eat shit.
whatnot.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
a
Faster.
statement that he's light speed.
sta-
But do you
two
actually have
statements.
any like visual evidence that Killua moves faster than light? We see Shigaraki catch a beam of light. We see Star and Stripe. This is kind of getting into manga spoilers. I'm not going to talk too much about this, just in case you haven't seen it or read this. But we see Star and Stripe catching lasers and altering them. We see this happen in the manga.
Yeah.
Do we see this
Lasers.
happen in Hunter x Hunter? No. No, we never see anything like that happen.
I showed you
You
N.
what was that? What
moving
was
at the
that
speed
he
of
was
light.
reacting to? It was
He
like a
reacting
dart, right?
He was reacting to a dart. Yeah.
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 A dart can move any speed. We're being told that he needs light
Yeah.
speed reactions,
Yes.
but we don't see an actual beam of light
And
from him reacting to it.
I'm taking this easy on you, dude. I'm taking this argument easy on you because you're
Okay.
right. It is a dart which has mass, and technically, if something has mass and it moves at the speed of light, that is technically infinite kinetic energy, which I'm pretty sure Deku doesn't have. So I'm just being I'm being the rational one here and not arguing for
Are
something
you saying
completely
Killua has
silly like
infinite
that.
kinetic energy?
I'm saying that not. I'm not saying that.
You
I'm
have some
saying that
very
would be a
serious
completely
ants, apparently.
that would be a stretch. They are serious.
Okay. Yes,
They are
that would be
serious.
a stretch.
Would be a
Quite
stretch.
a bit.
Yeah. And I'm not going to do that because I'm being nice here because I'm going to take it easy on you. But you know what? I'm not going to fucking take easy. I'm not going to take easy. Which direction do I want to go? Which direction?
What are you
do I wanna
talking?
go?
What are you saying?
Okay. We'll start low. We'll start with low. This is a very interesting argument. So Adult Gon is stated to have, and this is an explicit quote. Let me actually pull up my note. I just want the exact quote. Adult Gon has all the power he'll ever have. So when he fights Pito, he makes the way that Nen works is that you can make a vow to strengthen your Nen. Like Kurapika makes the vow that like I can only use these abilities against we have a new door hinge that squeaks like a motherfucker right outside my
Did
window.
it come from a haunted house?
it is so annoying. Okay, yeah, he has all the power he'll ever have because vows, if you make a promise to yourself, it strengthens, like, I will only ever use this in service of this. Gon makes a vow, unconsciously, doesn't realize that this is how it works, that to defeat Pito, he will, like, he'll never use Nen again, or something like that. He makes a vow, a really important vow. He'll die. It's super serious. Transforms into adult Gon. And in return is given all of the Nen he'll ever have in his entire life. So,
Okay.
let's do a little math here, okay? Let's do a little math. So,
Okay.
a Janjanken, which is like when he gathers Nen into his fist, that takes him about 1 second to do, right? We'll just use that as a base. Technically, he's like light speed, so it would take a fraction of, but whatever. He just uses a second. Okay.
Okay.
Killua, much physically weaker than Gon, doesn't punch as hard, was able to damage Yuppie. And Yuppie was able to create explosions that have been calced to about 500 or so kilotons. So we can reasonably say that a Janjanken from which is like a big, powerful punch from Gon, is within that range. Okay, so 500 kilotons per second times 60 seconds per minute times 60 minutes per hour times 24 hours per day times 365 days a year times, let's say he lives to the age of about 80, like an average
that's
lifespan.
not.
Wait.
I'm not talking
Hang on,
about
let's let him finish
What
this.
equals-
There's a million flaws in this argument already, but sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Times all of that, you get 1.2 petatons of TNT, which, if I recall, is just a tad higher. Just a tad higher. I think about 15 times higher than what we had for
This
Deku.
is why you were saying that shit about 10 times as a stomp earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
I see what
exactly.
you're connecting
yeah,
together.
Yeah.
It
About-
seems
about
like you're
15
trying to like
times.
hold water
Fucking
with
destroy.
a sieve right now. It's pretty rough.
Sam,
So-
you don't need to bring the negativity here. I'm just
Liam,
I'm being
Liam, I
kind.
do have to
Being
call you
kind
out
about
on this though.
Call me
Because
out on
you
what?
are doing something that I whenever we are working on a script for Death Battle, it is very important to me that whenever we present math in some way, we don't do it in a way that makes it intentionally confusing for the viewer.
I did not intentionally
And
confusing
exactly
at all.
what you were just
I'm
trying
saying
to
you can
do
put
right
out- you can
there
output
by just
500
throwing out a bunch of
kilotons
numbers when what
TNT
you are actually
per
trying to
second.
say is happening here is somehow Gon is building up power, the same amount of power on a daily basis
Yes.
for many years. That's not how it works.
It most certainly is. His
No.
Nen, he can activate a Genjinken at any time. He can do it at any time, and that amount of Nen.
Okay.
He's not suddenly twice as powerful as he was 24 hours ago
the
every
verbiage-
single day.
No.
The
I'm not
verbiage
saying that.
is
I'm
he
saying
gets-
that Adult Gon gets all of the power. It's a match. It is like it is a
Okay.
thing that defies logic. It is a thing where he gets all of the Nen he'll ever have over the course of his entire life. Right? I'm not saying
what
he
is
naturally
the
does
actual
that.
verbiage?
Yes, that is the actual verbiage. That is the actual verbiage.
Is that he
I read a
gets
quote.
all the power
He'll
of
ever
his-
have.
Okay. So not all the power he'll ever need.
No,
That's all
he'll
the
ever
power
have.
he'll ever
have. That is
The
quote.
idea is that it's reaching the maximum point of his power level when he maxes out near the end of his life or at the peak of his life or whatever.
It's not. It doesn't say
so
that. It
he's-
doesn't say he transforms to like how powerful he'll be at his max. It says he'll get all the power he'll ever have, and the cost is that he basically loses his Nen after that. Well, he goes into a coma and is like horribly fucked up and almost dies and has to be like revived magically. And he loses his Nen.
I just
That's
have to point
that was
out
part of the
Special
vow.
K. Special
Yeah,
K
yeah.
in the chat has a great little comment. This is the same guy who researched the episode with this, and it's just the emoji of the green boot.
Yeah. Maybe he
It's
could be
all the
Green Lantern.
power he'll ever
Maybe he could be
have,
Green Lantern, who
which
knows?
is not
Who
like
knows?
that.
Okay,
That's
I
like
feel like
saying
this.
I'll have all the salads I'll ever
Yeah,
have, but
we
I
got-
could just
you know what,
not have a salad again because I'm in a coma now.
But
That's
he doesn't. But what are you? No, what are you talking
No,
about?
hang on. This does
Okay.
feel like something
Can't
that
choose
is
not to
up
have
to
men.
interpretation. So I am curious, Sam. How do you interpret
Interpretation?
this?
well, I don't know.
Incorrect
Does he
interpretation.
come out of coma and use Nin again after
Nope.
this?
Never uses it again because he intentionally sacrificed that life of having Nen for that fight, for that single fight.
So that fight is the strongest he will ever be.
Yes.
And what does he do in
He's-
that fight?
He kills Pito, rips Pito apart.
Okay, what does Pete
Absolutely.
do?
Pito is one of the royal guards for Meruem, and she says, it's actually it's a feminine design, but I think they yeah.
Let's go with
Well,
they.
I think whatever.
They is correct either way. It doesn't matter.
They is correct either way. Yeah. Pito says that Adult Gon is like way more powerful. Like he's indescribably powerful. He's more powerful than even Meruem, who's the strongest being in Hunter x Hunter at that point. So his upper power level is not given a cap.
I do like how sometimes
you can kind of
scaling
compare
is
it down
like
to.
assuming that other characters in the canon would never exaggerate ever. They would
hey,
just never tell.
Hyperbolic
This is-
statements don't
if-
exist.
Yeah.
If these statements were implied to be exaggerations, I would let you know. I'm not going to sit here and lie about anything.
So
And
okay.
is Meruem the
So,
one who's like, I have the earth in my hands?
Yes,
Which is not
exactly. Which
an
means that you can
actual
really
real
scale
thing.
in a lot
Yeah,
higher.
which is just
frankly.
one of those
Because Petatons
shots.
is like continent level. That's like nothing.
Meruem is not a
Okay.
billion times bigger than the Earth.
Well,
Nubia,
well,
how are
just
you
wait.
interpreting this, Nubia?
Yeah.
So I it's very rough. I feel like mm,
It's a weird thing, right? Like trying to.
it's very weird.
What does it even mean?
I would say like of course gosh, I don't know.
Is your intent, Liam, to just
Yeah.
confuse everyone?
Yeah, wait.
Because I feel like that's what's
Let
happening.
me. I got more.
I'm
I can clarify
boggled.
this. I got something
I'm
that can very
gobsmacked.
clarify that. If you think that is a stretch, the idea of characters in Hunter x Hunter being a stretch, like being that powerful is a stretch. Let's keep talking about the Hunter x Hunter world and the
Okay,
fact that
okay.
so Hunter x Hunter, its world map, it's the size of Earth, except not. It's clearly a map of the planet like turned upside down. That's their universe, or that's their world. But we find out later in the manga that the world doesn't just end at like the normal bounds of like America on one side, Asia on the other. It's actually in the middle of an ocean, a vast fucking ocean, which is surrounded by something called the Dark Continent. And we get a full map of that with the monsters that live there. The monsters that live there, the Chimera ants are originally from the Dark Continent. Chimera ants are stated to be global threats, so they're comparable to the kind of monsters that you would find in the
Is
Dark
this
Continent.
just
Establishing the scaling chain here.
it's
like-
literally like that's like old school Christian flat Earth is like the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
is a round planet. It does have a curvature. It's just like if the
Yeah, but you
entirety
have
of like the
everything,
regular
and then
Earth
you have
fits,
massive
like, here.
ocean, and then you have scarier shit after the ocean that goes to
So I'm just saying
scarier
that, like-
shit, so nobody tries to go out there.
Exactly. So I'm just establishing that, and that the Chimera ants are especially Merom, who's the most powerful one, are comparable to the beasts that you would find in the Dark Continent. Let's go to image 2, Mike. Look how fucking big these fucking monsters are. You see the bottom left corner? That's the Earth! You see those monsters? Look how much fucking bigger they are! If you think a continent level or even a planet level attack is nothing compared to these kinds of creatures in Hunter x Hunter, you're crazy! You're defying facts and logic on your screen.
Isn't this
That T-Rex, that fire-breathing T-Rex, larger than Asia. Larger than Asia and America combined.
Isn't
that's
this
just
just
walking
like
around.
an interpretation of it? This isn't
No,
meant
this
to be
is
taken
real.
literal.
This is 100% fucking real. They are discussing it there by people that have been there. People that have been there and witnessed this stuff.
I don't think. Yeah, a couple of people in chat
yeah.
are specifying. Yeah, bro, that's not the Earth.
Mike,
That is.
Mike,
That
can
is,
you?
in fact.
I just slacked you an image. Can you pull it up for me really quick so we can have a quick discussion?
Okay,
Just to get into it here.
we'll go ahead and bring that up.
Let's bring up some dishonest argument against me, Sam. You know I'm right.
Because I don't know if that's supposed to be literally our Earth. It is designed similar to it.
Do
but,
you
okay, what
see
is this?
how big these serpents are off the
But it's not a map.
coast of
It's not a
Islandia?
map. It's not a map, bud. It ain't a
I'm
map.
pretty sure it's a fucking map you just showed us,
It
and it's
wasn't a
the
map.
same shit.
They
Where
were talking
people
about
who
the
do
planet.
maps
You
and
saw
shit.
the curvature of the Earth. You saw that curvature. You saw that big, beautiful curvature. It's talking about
I
the planet
don't know.
itself.
It's just like people
No,
used to
it's-
draw monsters on maps, dog.
It's
Sam,
not. Okay,
You're stretching
real
here.
quick.
You're losing me.
I just want to say this. It's not meant to be taken literally, but what is meant to be taken literally
Hurt your argument.
is this great deal you can get with our sponsor, HelloFresh.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, this episode is sponsored by HelloFresh. And with HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. You can skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. I mean, we've been sponsored by HelloFresh before. You've probably heard of them, but if you haven't, it's legit. I've used it plenty of times. It's fantastic. And hey, the cost of groceries are going way up, and you know you're spending too much on overpriced takeout right now. So HelloFresh is not only a cheaper option, it's not only a healthier option, which, come on, we all need that, frankly, but it's just as fresh, if not more so, than what you're going to get from the store. HelloFresh has 40 weekly recipes to choose from for all meal occasions, lifestyles, and preferences. Take your pick from meals like soy glazed salmon with rice or the mushroom and chive risotto. They're always adding new delicious meals all the time. Literally every time I look at the app, there's always a new thing. And HelloFresh saves you tons of time, not just by skipping those trips to the grocery store, but also by providing those pre-portioned ingredients that make cooking a breeze. It's so quick and easy to make a meal with it. So go to HelloFresh.com/cast60 and use the code cast60 for 60% off plus free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/cast60 and use the code cast60 to get 60% off and free shipping. Thanks again to HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. It's kind of crazy, the incredible deals like we get with HelloFresh whenever they sponsor this show. So definitely take advantage of this. It's really awesome. Anyway, go check out HelloFresh. It's really cool. So we've talked a lot about
I got more. I got
weird
so much more.
theoretical ideas concerning Gon and Hunter x Hunter.
The
I
multi-solar
would like to
system-
say a few things about
system level feat.
Deku, right? But I also kind of like to throw it to our judges here, see if they have any questions regarding what we've talked about. So, Nubia, how are you feeling about Gon's power level right now?
I feel like there are other things that could have been brought up for Gon. especially things that happened in the universe or in the storyline. That also could show his power, and things that we could very well have a solid argument against, as opposed to maps and monsters drawn on said maps. But
Map.
I
Not a map.
digress.
Wow, Liam, it's not just talking about going, but critiquing how you're presenting him.
Yeah.
Well, Nubia's critique
the other thing
was
said.
I could bring up arguments that could be argued against, and I don't want to bring up those kinds of arguments. I'm bringing
Okay.
up solid
Okay.
shit. Can't say shit
Okay.
against them.
Fair
Ironclad.
enough.
Yeah.
Specifically trying to hijack it. Okay, Sam, how are you feeling about it?
I like to think that one of the monsters on the map who is pictured on Earth is somehow also the one that's holding Earth.
Mm.
Sure. I think
Yeah,
there's some
I think so.
inconsistencies here.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't we just
It's
look at
pretty
Earth and
clear.
it wasn't surrounded by flat Earth? Like, what happened with that?
Well, it's within that
Yeah.
Earth is with it's still a sphere. It's not a flat Earth.
It's not a
still a
sphere. Based on what you just showed us, it's a lake.
No.
No, there is a curvature to
curvature.
it.
It
It
actually
doesn't make a
is.
lot of sense, though.
It actually is.
Actually,
the,
you're wrong.
the lore of it is that the continents that they're on are on Lake Mobius.
Yes.
Then the dark continent surrounds it, and then it's a planet.
Yes.
If I recall correctly,
But
that's
those,
how it
but
works.
those continents that are there are Earth-sized. They're still continents. They're still like
I don't
based
know
on
if
Earth.
that's true. I don't know if that's true. Either way,
Yeah.
I need to
It's
talk
literally
about
the
Deku.
Earth's map upside down, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is literally
Yeah.
Earth.
So Deku, let me actually get some information out there regarding Deku. He doesn't just punch hard, like I said at the beginning. He's got a bunch of powers. So I'm gonna try to keep this relatively spoiler free about what happens in the story, because obviously My Hero Academia is still ongoing and the anime hasn't quite caught up. But there are a bunch of powers that Deku has been unlocking that belong to the previous holders of One for All. Important ones would be Black Whip, which is going to give him an advantage in term. He's going to be way more mobile and in the air than Gon could possibly ever keep up with. Because not only can he blast himself around the air with his own like air blasts from his All for One for All. Okay. But also Black Whip basically functions as like a bunch of Spider-Man whips that he has full control over. He has a danger sense, again, very similar to Spider-Man. He's basically a spider sense. He has the ability, so One for All is a stockpiling power, right? It builds up power over time, and over the many, many decades that it's been around, it has built up a lot of power. But he has another way to build up power with Fa Jin. So he can store kinetic energy and reach high levels of power equaling All Might and beyond. He can float. Again, more aerial, just movement that he can bring into the fight just to keep away from Gon, who doesn't, as far as I'm aware, cannot fly in any way. And then most recently, this is the one I don't want to talk too much about because it's spoilery, but he recently got a power that basically allows him to change reality. He can change the speed of a target. It can either be slowed down or sped up, and he uses this on himself to increase his speed even further than what he's been doing before. And again, Shigaraki caught a light speed laser. There's a very specific moment later on in the manga where he completely blitzes Shigaraki using this power. And it's crazy how fast and powerful it is. Again, don't want to get too far into it unless I need to, but it is so far and above the laser catching speed from before. It is ridiculous how powerful and fast he gets. I do want to bring up, okay, so there's a feat that we mentioned in the episode Deku versus Asta, where we basically calculate how powerful that double attack he does. I can't remember what the movie's called, but it's the movie where he shares One for All with Bakugo. And we basically calculated that he can output by himself 80 teratons of force of TNT. What is teraton? What does teraton actually mean?
Less than
look into that.
petatons. Less than petatons, which is what we've calculated going to be.
Petatons, well, we've already talked about how that doesn't make any sense.
It absolutely
but
does
a
refer to
teraton,
petatons.
I'm going to give you like a legitimate fact and like show you how it makes sense within the world,
Legitimate
unlike
fact.
you.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So a teraton
It's huffing
is
that copium.
1 million tons. 80 teratons is enough to blow up the moon 3 times over. So
That's
Deku-
actually joking aside. That is wrong. 80 teratons
that's
is
true.
like 100 teratons is the thing that blew up is the meteor that
a teraton is a
dinosaurs.
trillion megatons.
No, a teraton is a trillion tons. It's a million megatons. I'm actually not joking. Not that I've been joking this whole time, but I'm actually not joking.
A teraton is sorry, I got that mixed up. Yeah, a teraton is a million megatons.
No,
and it takes 30 million megatons to blow up the moon.
No, it goes megatons, gigatons, teratons, petatons, exatons, zetatons, yotatons. No, let's start making them up after that. It's a million megatons. Yeah, it's a million megatons. Sorry, it's a million megatons.
What the fuck are you saying? He can blow up the moon.
You cannot blow up the moon. It takes less energy. It takes more energy than that. But it's fine. Close enough. It's not really.
Okay.
Well, Liam's making shit up, so I'm gonna make shit up too. He can blow up the moon.
Did I get confused? Did I? No.
Either way, he has 80 teratons of TNT behind him, which is an incredible amount of force.
Yeah,
this is supported by other feats within the world, such as when the Todorokis were able to create a firestorm that basically affected the entire world. And I would like to bring this image up just because I think it's ridiculous.
Did I just have a brain fart? I think I did. Sorry.
So we can bring up. Will you let me talk, please?
Yeah, go. Sorry.
So let's go ahead and bring up the firestorm image. This is not necessarily like a thing that is going to answer who wins or whatever. I just think it's ridiculous that the Todorokis, who are the fire people, were having a battle where they heated up the air around them so hot that it affected a growing tsunami nearby, turned the tsunami into a literal firestorm. This is in Japan, that started affecting the USA on the other side of the goddamn world. This meteorologist just decides to like turn this into an amazing moment where she's like, the world, we are doomed because of superheroes and whatnot. It's hilarious. I love this part. Thanks to Speedy for pointing this out as well to me.
Yeah. Needed help from the researchers.
The amount of power that these guys have is so much more than anything that we see in Hunter x Hunter. Because Miriam is not grabbing the world, but the Todorokis are literally affecting the whole world with just the heat off their backs.
Just wait. And just to clarify, yes, it is a million megatons. You said it was a trillion megatons at first, which is what I was reacting to. I got confused there. Yes, million megatons, not a trillion megatons. Trillion tons. There you go. Okay.
You're still confusing me with what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
Teraton is a million megatons.
Correct. Yeah, not. You said a trillion megatons at first, which is why I went trillion megatons. But,
okay.
But a teraton is a trillion tons.
A trillion tons. Yes.
Whatever. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. You know what's
Deku could blow up 40 moons.
No, he can't. That actually is incorrect. But let's just get to the. You know what's bigger than a moon? You know what's bigger than the planet Earth? Even this planet Earth that we're talking about. Image 6, Mike, if you could. Banalanov's
Can't wait to
punch,
see this.
which punches
Image
with the force
6
of Jupiter. That's fucking right. His fucking Jupiter punches with the force of Jupiter. Way bigger than the fucking Earth. Way bigger than.
Wait,
fucking
hang on.
teratons.
What's that on the sides there? Are those trees?
No. It is not a real Jupiter, but he is punching with the force of Jupiter. And you think
that doesn't
that's
make
crazy.
any sense.
You think that's crazy? Image 7, Mike. Phaeton, another member of the spiders, whatever the fuck their assassination group is called, can summon a sun. Yeah, that just roasts you alive. A sun, even bigger than Jupiter. It's like 100 Jupiters. Yeah. So clearly, we're talking about a level of power here that is just not even remotely comparable to.
Hang on, I'm looking up this Jupiter thing. Jupiter prologue.
Yeah.
But also, like, is there no
Sam?
oxygen in their environment?
That's actually
okay. The description of it is Jupiter allows what's his name?
Banalanov
to conjure a giant sphere with the appearance of the planet Jupiter around himself to crush his enemies. So he's not summoning Jupiter.
He's not summoning
just
the
the way it
Jupiter.
looks.
He's punching with the force of it, though, and that's the key thing that you got to keep in mind. Let's also remember
if he
that
punches
Razor,
with the force of it, wouldn't the whole Earth like shatter?
He's punching a dude. He's punching. Goku punches people all the time and doesn't blow up the Earth.
Yeah.
Anyways,
They almost did. That was kind of a plot point in Battle of the Gods.
If you punch the Earth, if you punch a dude on the Earth, it's not going to be the same thing. Now, let's also talk about Razor and Greed Island, everyone's favorite arc. Just kidding. It was a little mid comparison to York New and Chimera Ant.
Yeah, Green Island's
Razor's
my favorite.
Greed Island's your favorite? Never mind. It's great. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's the best arc.
Pandering.
It's an awesome
Pandering.
arc. Razor, the great and powerful Razor, who's the one that helped build Greed Island with Jing. His Nen is what's it conjures the cards that control and give you power over the literal physical space of Greed Island, that helps like manifest those things into reality. He's doing it with his Nen. And Greed Island is a game world that has its own sun. It's a planet and its own sun, and his Nen is helping sustain that.
Is it a planet?
I'm just giving you so much. Yes,
I don't think it's a planet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a sun.
Isn't there an edge to it? I thought they find the edge.
Well, you know, even if it isn't just, even if it is just the island with the edge, there is still a sun in the sky.
I can't remember who it is, but somebody breaks into it. They like literally find the edge and they go inside.
No.
Phantom Troop does land on the shore of Green Island, and then Razor sends them back and says they have to find an entrance the right way through.
Yeah, which is just shows how powerful they are.
So it's not a whole nother planet.
So,
it is just like a space in the world.
Yeah, it is.
He creates like that world, that like
they
environment with his Nen.
And
it doesn't have
took a boat
sun.
to it.
It did most. There's the sun illuminating the sky.
Yeah, the normal sun.
The normal sun.
No, Sam, completely ridiculous chicanery coming from you guys, trying to deny obvious feats here.
Chicanery, of course. Yeah.
So I just want to say that this is the reason we didn't do Deku versus Gon. It would obviously be a complete stomp. We're talking star level versus like large country at best. I don't know what the fucking 40 moons thing is. Your math is a little scratchy there, bud.
Oh right, I meant to say 400 moons, because if we're making shit up, I might as well say that. Oh yeah, Todoroki could totally like light up the sun and blow it up.
He's making stuff up. So this is in such poor taste. Benjamin Singer, such poor taste.
Me saying a feat that's obviously wrong, and then me saying that I made it up.
Yeah, that's bad. You shouldn't do that. You should really not do that. You should hold yourself to a higher standard.
It's a good thing that I'm at least admitting that I made it up, unlike somebody.
Just to get to it, I get you can say Gon has light speed reactions, sure, but what's the fastest he ever moves?
Well, it would have to be something faster than light speed.
Nubia?
Please.
I would say that Gon scales to Killua, and I do agree with the Killua feat of the scene where he was saying that he moves like he has to be faster than light in order to catch that flying fish that was coming for his head. I would say that he would like Killua has said that Gon is stronger than him multiple times. He's like he's surpassed me, and I'm not going to be like good enough for him, basically. So if Killua is faster than light speed, then I guess Gon would be. But he hasn't shown any of that, so it's kind of like a.
Killua's thing is speed. Like Gon's thing is not necessarily speed. It's like a raw power. They're like the duo. One's the fast guy, one's the strong guy. They can obviously match each other to a certain degree, but I would expect Killua, if they went into a foot race, I would expect Killua to be able to outspeed.
That's true, but he's also comparing to himself to base Gon there, not adult Gon, who is definitely much faster.
Sure. Who has the apparently the power of 5 million days all stored up together, or whatever the hell you calculate.
500 days of summer.
Do you want to bring up the nuke argument with Meruem, or are you gonna?
I think. Well, Meruem is.
Okay, let's rapid fire this, because I also have a nuke thing.
Nukes are sort of small potatoes compared to what we've been talking about. But yeah, he survived a nuke and then absorbed it and got more powerful than it. So he blows up mountains and shit. That's definitely for sure.
Okay. For Deku, Shigaraki survived a punch from a Star and Stripe holding a bunch of. This is more complicated than what I'm saying, but I don't want to spoil it. Holding a bunch of the most powerful nukes in the world, so powerful that they technically could not be used. And it was powerful enough to basically evaporate a large section of the ocean and crater it. And Shigaraki survived it. And then, of course, Deku is able to beat the shit out of him later. So, checkmate. Let's go ahead and get to the vote.
Checkmate, more like checkmate. I just scholar mated you, bro.
Vote in the chat now too, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, the poll is up in the chat, but let's go ahead and start this
Don't
off
reward
with
Ben's lies.
the answers you guys have provided on our community tab. Let's go ahead and bring up the first one of that.
I think I'm supposed to read these as being in the chat spot. So the major issue with this fight is Gon literally peaked in his fight with, is it Pitou? What was it?
Ito.
Pito, and was immediately sidelined for the rest of the series that's going on so far. Meanwhile, Midoriya's feats are counting and acclimate, especially in his current fight with AFO and Shigaraki. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it does seem like Gon has been out of the game for a while, right? Yeah.
I would not be surprised if he never really comes back in any meaningful way.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah. Because
I
literally
like
did say, "Give me everything today, and I'll never use it again." So he's kind of done.
And his goal was to meet his father, and he did. And
Hunter x Hunter
so
is kind of fascinating that it feels like Gon's the main character, but then they introduce all these other characters and it becomes stories about them.
Kurapika is now.
It's an ensemble story.
Really like
But anyway, we got one more answer. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
All right. Gon also counters every single one of Deku's abilities. He counters Float by being able to jump high, as seen in the Greed Island arc. Not like Float would matter in the fight. He counters Black Whips with Yonkin Scissors, or by using his fishing rod to get Deku closer. We have not talked about the fishing rod, even though...
Fishing rod is multiversal, at least, I would say.
He also counters the kinetic energy burst from Fa Jin because he can use aura to cover his body and take less damage from those attacks. So that does work a lot like Dragon Ball Kia. He counters the smoke ability because of his sense of smell and because he has
That's probably true.
Eo, so he'll be able to see Deku's life energy through the smoke. Gon could likely can also counter danger sense by hiding his presence, much like he did with Hisoka in the Hunter exam.
Good argument.
That's interesting. I don't know if that would necessarily work the same way.
Good arguments.
He's not detecting Nen.
I think that YouTube comment might have argued for Gon better than Liam.
You know,
I hate to agree, but
look, it's like what Rocky says. We have gaps. We feel each other's gaps.
Didn't even bring up
so I was focusing on stats.
It's like main thing.
Bringing up stats, and they were focusing on the versatility argument. So
all right. The fishing rod is faster than light and multiversal. Mandarin agrees.
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and get to these votes, starting with the vote that you guys submitted in the same place online before the show. Let's go ahead and bring that up. First vote goes to Deku with 72%. That is one vote for Deku. All right.
It doesn't say Deku. We're debating Deku versus Gon, and that said Izuku. So that doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Sam,
just saying.
Go ahead and vote. Who are you voting for, Sam?
Deku.
We got a vote. We got 2 votes for Deku. Yeah. All right, Nubia, who are you voting for?
It pains me so much. But I also have to vote Deku. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, don't be sorry. It's your vote. It's and you're voting for the true winner here, for the one that makes the most sense.
Jesus was a martyr too, I'm in good company.
listen. If the arguments were just a little bit different, I would have gone Gon.
Yeah,
you'd have gone Gon.
Well, I mean, arguments aside, though, Nubia, do you think Gon could win? Like, even if you give it like a 6 out of 10 times thing, like.
I think if. No, I don't think he's smart enough. I think I'm gonna be honest. He's a little bit of a not like he's like a very punch and not a outmaneuver type person.
Yeah.
And so I feel like his emotions would get the better of him, and he would ultimately not do well.
Okay. It's true. Didn't really talk about that, but Deku is much more of a strategist. I mean, strategy plays a big role in Hunter x Hunter, but
I don't know.
Like, Gon is not the smartest. Well, I don't necessarily want to say he's like not smart, but like there are other characters who are much more strategically focused than he is. And Deku is the strategist, basically, of My Hero. Okay, we also have the poll which is finished in the chat. Let's go ahead and bring that up. I did notice that as soon as you compared yourself to Jesus, Liam, the golden vote started dropping.
Look,
So the
what
winner
am I supposed to do?
of the chat poll is Deku with 74% of the votes, which means
That 1%.
Deku sweep. Yeah, where did the 1% go? That's interesting.
It does that a lot. YouTube, not the best at math, I guess.
It should be
Math is hard.
75%.
Yeah.
Deku sweep. Deku wins
Some
all
people
4
are just-
votes. Let's go. Thank you all for voting for Deku. The correct answer, of course.
Brutal. It's okay. I accept that, like, my ideas might not be accepted in this lifetime, but in the future,
Now-
I think when people look back at this, they'll understand
Now,
how ahead of the curve.
Liam, that your chicanery, to
Yeah.
use one of your favorite words, is done. Are you really? Do you really think Gon would win this death battle?
No, obviously not.
Okay, there are a few things that you brought up that I obviously
God,
haven't seen, like the
no.
Jupiter thing. I want to talk about that in the
No, it's
our.
just it looks
No,
like
no, I want to talk
Jupiter.
more
It
about that
doesn't-
in our membership.
It just looks like Jupiter.
Community, whatever the hell we call it.
Champion cast.
Champion cast.
Benjamin.
Our champion
I can't
cast.
believe how much I found.
I've been bamboozled here. I've been confused. So hey, thank you all for watching this shenanigans.
Very impressive display of bullshit on my part.
Yes, very much
I'm
so.
gonna maintain that for an hour.
We have our champion cast, our champion exclusive post show that we record after this, and that will be going live or going up on our YouTube channel later on. And we'll talk more about this. But until then, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, be awesome, and we will see you next week. Take care.